Are you a slave? What the Bible says. When Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers, he went into Egypt, and by a series of divinely guided events, he found himself before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. There he interprets Pharaoh's dream and predicts 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph was tasked with setting up extra food storage and granaries in preparation for famine. The results of this, according to Genesis chapter 47, verses 13 through 23, are as follows. 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. 15. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. 16. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle, if money fail. 17. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. 18. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our lands. 19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. And give us seed, that we may live, and not die, that the land be not desolate. 20. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. 22. Only the land of the priests bought he not. For the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands. 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. So the people of Egypt were self-sufficient before the famine. They had gold, silver, cattle, and land. As the famine wore on, they purchased grain from Pharaoh with money. When the money ran out, they paid with cattle. When the cattle ran out, they paid with land, but without land. The only things left to sell were their bodies and labor. In the early 1800s, about 97% of Americans were self-employed. They were agricultural farmers and landowners, or provided skills such carpentry or blacksmiths. It wasn't until the late 1800s that the robber barons brought in the Industrial Revolution. This is when it started becoming fashionable to be an employee, trading time for money. Before this, most people were derided as slaves for doing this. So, let me ask you a question. Do you have gold and silver, true money? Do you own cattle? Do you have land? I don't mean a tiny little inner city front and backyard, but real acreage where you can produce enough food to sustain you and your loved ones for a year. If you don't have these things, then all you have is your body and the labor you can provide. Provide to who, you might ask? Well, to Pharaoh, of course. The only question is, who is your Pharaoh today? This is the modern-day paradox. Are you a slave? Not chains and whips, ownership, the kind that sneaks up when life gets tight and options run out. Let me take you back. Joseph gets sold, ends up in Egypt. He interprets Pharaoh's dream, 7 years of plenty, 7 of famine. He builds storage, fills granaries, saves a nation. But then Genesis 47 hits like a reality check. No bread in the land. Money runs out. People line up for grain. First they trade cash, then cattle, then land. And when all else is gone, the only thing left on the table is themselves. Buy us and our land for bread. That's in the text. Here's the mirror test. What do you actually own? Gold or silver you can hold. Cattle, real productive assets. Land, acreage that can feed you and yours for a year. Or is it all subscriptions, payments and promises? If your answer is, I've got my body and my labor, hear this with love. That's where Egypt ended up. Pressed by famine, they traded down till the only coin left was themselves. I'm not saying panic, I'm saying prepare. Joseph didn't scare people, he stored. He used years of plenty to buy time for years of pain. That's wisdom. So, who's Pharaoh today? Your lender, your landlord, your boss, the algorithm, the marketplace that rents you everything and sells you nothing? If you can't say no without losing your oxygen, that's your Pharaoh. Here's the move. Small, steady, stubborn. Build a real cushion, food you'll actually eat. Learn one skill that turns time into value without permission. Own one productive thing, a bed, a tool, a skill that sells. Reduce one master, one debt, one contract, one dependency. Add one lifeline, community, favors, elders. When all supply flows through one gate, the gatekeeper owns the line. Spread your gates. If money failed for a month, what do you trade first? Cash, gear, time, or me? If it's you, start shifting the stack. One bag of rice, one paid-off bill, one raised bed, one side skill. Then do it again next week. The Bible doesn't just tell stories, it holds up mirrors. Look into this one. If Pharaoh called tomorrow, would he own your answer? Or could you say, I'm provided for, I'll pass. Start now. Small is fine, quiet is fine, but move. Famine isn't always weather, it's pressure. And preparation is worship. Are you a slave? Or are you getting free? One wise choice at a time. Your future self is watching. Let's give him something solid to stand on.
Today, I'm diving deep into the world of debt to see if I'm a slave to it just like the ancient Egyptians were to their pharaohs. Can I break free from the chains of my own finances? Let's find out. Debt is one of those things that can weigh heavily on our minds and our bank accounts. It's like having a constant companion that we can't shake off, always lurking in the background, reminding us of our financial obligations. For many of us, debt can feel like a form of modern-day slavery, trapping us in cycles of repayment and stress. The feeling of being trapped is something that many people can relate to. Imagine having a significant portion of your income going towards debt repayment every month, leaving you with just enough to cover your basic expenses. It's a stressful and often overwhelming experience that can affect not just your financial stability but also your mental health. The pressure to keep up with payments can be immense, and the fear of falling behind is a constant worry. This cycle of debt can make it difficult to envision a future free from financial burdens. The impact of debt on our lives is multifaceted. It can strain relationships, limit our ability to save for the future, and even affect our physical health. The stress of managing debt can lead to anxiety and depression, making it even harder to tackle the problem. Despite these challenges, many people struggle to find a way out, feeling stuck in a never-ending cycle of debt. Historically, the concept of debt and servitude dates back to ancient civilizations. In ancient Egypt, for instance, the pharaohs played a significant role in the economy and the lives of the people. The pharaohs were seen as gods on earth, and their power over the economy and society was absolute. People could find themselves in debt to the pharaohs for various reasons, including taxes, loans, or other obligations. This debt often translated into a form of servitude, where individuals had to work to pay off their debts, sometimes for many years. The role of the pharaohs in ancient Egypt's economy is fascinating. They controlled the land, the resources, and the people, creating a system where debt was often used as a tool for social control. This historical context helps us understand how debt has been used as a means of exerting power over individuals and societies throughout history. By examining the past, we can gain insights into our current financial systems and the ways in which debt affects our lives today. The dynamics of debt in ancient Egypt share some striking similarities with contemporary financial systems. Just as the pharaohs used debt to maintain control, modern financial institutions and governments use debt as a tool for economic management. However, the good news is that we have the power to change our financial situation. Understanding how debt works and learning strategies to manage it effectively can empower us to take control of our finances. Breaking free from debt requires a combination of financial knowledge, discipline, and the right strategies. It's about understanding the root causes of your debt, creating a plan to pay it off, and making conscious financial decisions moving forward. This might involve consolidating debt, cutting expenses, increasing income, or seeking professional help. The key is to start somewhere and be consistent in your efforts. Taking control of your finances is a journey, and it's one that requires patience, persistence, and the right mindset. By learning from history and understanding the mechanics of debt, we can develop effective strategies to manage it. This journey is not just about paying off debt, it's about building a secure financial future. In conclusion, debt can indeed feel like a form of modern-day slavery, but by understanding its historical context and learning how to manage it effectively, we can break free from its chains. It's essential to take control of our finances and make informed decisions about our money. If you've had your own struggles with debt or have tips on managing finances, share them in the comments below. Also, check out my other video on financial freedom tips for more insights and practical advice on taking control of your finances.
Coloring Book for Kids, Volume 2. Available August 15, 2025 on Amazon. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Children. Color 30 fun designs of inspirational verses and Christian artwork. A beautiful children's coloring book designed to fill your child's mind with the positive words of God's love. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Kids was designed to be a fun, yet effective way to help children calm their tension. Hand-lettered quotes and adorable hand-designed illustrations will inspire your child as they reflect on God's promises.